Hi Cancer, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you guys subscribe, I upload my new videos for Cancer and Capricorn on Thursdays. So the deck that I'm using today is called the Spirit Within Tarot. And as always, if you guys are interested in getting a personal reading, the link is in the description below. So just as a heads up, sometimes the cards like to flip open the deck. I do see them. However, I only take cards that jump out like these ones have. And sometimes they like to jump out in groups that are too big. Usually when that happens, I'll go ahead and put them back and then continue shuffling. But my goal here is to get you guys roughly 8 or 9 cards, and then we can get started on your reading. So I'm just going to pull one more card for you guys, and then we can get started. All right, Cancer. So your overall energy here, I'm going to go ahead and put your overall energy in the upright, is the King of Swords. So that right off the top of my head tells me that you guys are dealing with some kind of air sign energy, right? So this King of Swords in particular looks very combative to me. You can see in the depiction that they look like they're fresh from a fight. So to me, that makes me feel like this person isn't very diplomatic, is just kind of very, right? So sometimes the King of Swords have this habit of being very condescending, especially when there is emotions involved, because the King of Swords is very much a intellectual type person. So once you start to kind of deal with this person, you'll know who they are in your life, for sure. For some of you guys, I'm getting that you haven't quite been in communication with this person and are soon coming into communication, but for most of you, I think that you're already in communication with this person, which on the topic of communication is something that they're very good at, right? So they're really good at performance. So how they phrase things, how they make things look, right? So you can, like, there's that phrase, the numbers don't lie, but like this King of Swords can make the numbers say something different, even though they're not saying that necessarily, just based on how they're being phrased, how they're being presented, right? That's the ability of the King of Swords. He's a master at communication. And even though I've talked about a lot of those sort of negative traits that the King of Swords can be known for, by the way, I just looked at the timer on the video and it was at 333. So I'm guessing that for a lot of you guys, you might be seeing synchronicities now, and 3 might be a very important number. So I highly suggest looking up a 3, repeating 3s as an angel number and doing some research on your own. But I see this Death card and the 7 of Swords. So this tells me one of two things. Either this King of Swords kind of person or energy, it doesn't necessarily have to be a person, in the past has been very much the 7 of Swords, right? And the 7 of Swords is just a very nasty energy to deal with, right? A lot of people call the 7 of Swords the lying, cheating, stealing card. So whenever you see somebody who is in this energy, they're very low vibrational, not the best. But you have the Death card here, so that tells me that you guys are letting go of whatever that element is. And then option 2 is that this Death card is a transformation that's occurring within this King of Swords, and they're leaving this 7 of Swords energy of their own fruition, right? So I'm definitely getting those two scenarios for you guys. And I think that at the end of the day, this King of Swords person feels like a romantic partner, right? Somebody who is a little bit out of touch with their emotions. I can't remember if I mentioned it or not, but the King of Swords is that intellectual type, so they have sort of a disconnect with their emotions a lot of the times. This is the kind of person who will make head over heart decisions 9 times out of 10, right? And I think that that can be a little bit difficult for you guys because Cancers, as a sun sign, can be very emotional and can be very in tune with their emotion and their intuition, but this person is more of a logical kind of person, right? So those things don't factor in a whole lot for them. And I'm seeing that either that or something else is acting as a blockage here because we have the Sun in reverse. The Sun is the happiest card in the deck, right? And you can see that this person is basically reaching enlightenment here. They're reaching some kind of a happiness. But the fact that it's in reverse tells me that there's some kind of a blockage. There's something that's standing in your way, and I think that has to do with the things around this whole situation. The Ten of Pentacles here, I'm getting not necessarily as 2 different scenarios, but as 2 parts of one scenario, right? I'm thinking that for a lot of you guys, this whole family unit might be part of an issue. So for some of you guys, the fact that, or not the fact, but like some of your family members and you might have some like scenario, some situation in your family that is making things a little bit more difficult in order to facilitate all this kind of movement. But I feel like this is, at the end of the day, is your goal, right? You want sort of this happy family unit that the Ten of Pentacles is representative of. So I'm getting that this whole idea of family is very important to you guys right now. And once you're able to clear yourself of this blockage that is blocking the Sun card energy, you're going to see a whole lot of happiness and a lot of forward movement towards this Ten of Pentacles and also this Ten of Cups, right? Because the Ten of Cups is a very similar energy to the Ten of Pentacles, whereas the Ten of Pentacles talks more about stability and family and sort of that happy home environment. The Ten of Cups talks about happiness in the emotional fulfillment kind of a way, right? So I'm getting that for a lot of you guys, you're really trying to work towards that self-actualization. And like I said, again, the same thing with the Sun in reverse here applies. Once you're able to clear this blockage, you're going to see a lot of forward movement towards not only the Ten of Pentacles, but the Ten of Cups. And I think that more specifically, in the case of the Ten of Cups, you need to work on this Four of Swords in reverse, right? So the Four of Swords talks about resting and taking time for yourself, right? Taking a step back. As you can see, this person is on what looks like to be a couch, but they're in a home, they're comfortable, and they're resting. I think that that's something that you guys haven't allowed yourself to do recently. I think that you guys have really been go, go, go lately, and that puts you in a situation where you're not really able to rest and not really able to work at your maximum efficiency. So once you guys like allow yourself to rest, I think that this is going to give way to figuring out not only what this blockage is, but also how to really counteract that. And I think it's just a matter of having that energy to be able to tackle the issue to begin with. Because I see the Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles is a really good sign. It's my sort of input-output card, right? So this person is getting fruit, or in this case, pentacles, from this little shrubbery here, but in order to maintain that steady pace, he needs to constantly put in energy into, I want to say grooming, but if feeding his plants, watering his plants, taking care of them, right? If he doesn't take care of them, then his plants will stop giving him the food that he needs to sustain himself. So it's sort of like a symbiosis kind of situation, right? The more you put into a situation, the more you get out. So I'm thinking that the issue here is that maybe you've been putting effort into a situation, but not necessarily in the right places. I could see kind of like a scenario where you're trying to better your relationship with somebody, but you just end up working, and while you may be improving other areas of your life, you really haven't done the steps that you need to take in order to solve this particular problem over here. You know what I mean? So I'm guessing that once you start to really identify where it is that you need to put in X amount of work and X amount of energy, you're going to start to see these huge leaps and bounds. Because I see the World card, and the World card talks about huge changes. The World card is usually a change in your life, an end to a chapter. So I'm getting that for a lot of you guys, there are some really big changes afoot as soon as you start to really unblock these blockages. And for also, I haven't made the connection until just now. Cancer is a sign of home, right? It's the 4th house of the zodiac. So I'm seeing this connection here in the cards because you have the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups, and that's the ideal home environment. There's just like these. It's like you're in turbulent waters right now, and you're moving towards calmer waters by sort of accepting this death energy, by accepting that you need to rest every so often in order to achieve your goals, by allocating your energy, I want to get responsibly, but also accordingly to what your needs are. And then once you've done these things, you're going to see this sun in the reverse unblock itself, and then you're going to achieve the happiness that is the Sun card. And in case I haven't mentioned it, the Sun card is the happiest card of the tarot deck. And once you do that, you're going to start to see this 7 of Swords disappear. You're going to see this 10 of Pentacles come in. You're going to see this 10 of Cups come in, and then you're going to see this World card where you see this huge ending to this chapter, and then you start to see powerful new beginnings, because every end brings with it a new beginning. So that was your reading first time around, Cancer. If you enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment because it really helps out the channel, and I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Cancer videos on Thursdays, but in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other Thomas readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.